Have you ever opened your freezer and realized there was nothing ready for dinner? Stay with me, and today I'll show you 6 freezer tricks that can save you time, reduce food waste, and make weeknight cooking so much easier. Let's start with the first freezer tip, and of course, it has to be about meat. As soon as you bring it home, it's best to freeze it right away while it's still fresh. Here's a simple method that's worked wonderfully for me. Place the meat into a zip-top freezer bag and spread it into a thin, even layer. Try to remove as much air as possible before sealing the bag. Now take the back of a spatula or any tool and gently press lines into the meat, dividing it into small square portions. This one extra step makes a huge difference later. Instead of thawing the entire bag every time you cook, you can simply break off the number of portions you need. The remaining meat stays safely frozen, helping preserve its quality and reducing food waste. The thin, flat shape also freezes much faster and thaws more evenly than one large block of meat. I'm curious, what do you freeze most often, beef, chicken, pork, or seafood? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's talk about leftover vegetables. If you have extra vegetables that you won't be using in the next few days, don't let them sit in the refrigerator until they go bad. Freeze them instead. This works especially well for vegetables like carrots, corn, and okra. Start by cutting them into evenly sized pieces. Keeping the pieces about the same size helps them freeze more evenly and cook at the same rate later. Next, place the vegetables into a zip-top freezer bag. Spread them out into a thin, even layer before sealing the bag, pressing out as much air as possible. When stored this way, the vegetables freeze separately instead of forming one large frozen block. That means you can easily take out only the amount you need without thawing the entire bag. It's an easy habit that helps reduce food waste, saves money, and ensures you always have vegetables ready whenever you need them. Seafood is another ingredient that's always worth keeping in the freezer. It's quick to cook, high in protein, and perfect for those days when you need a fast, healthy meal without making another trip to the grocery store. When you bring it home, rinse it with water to remove any dirt or residue. Next, divide the shrimp into meal-sized portions and place each portion into a freezer-safe container. Here's the trick that many people don't know. If you freeze shrimp by itself, the surface can dry out over time, causing freezer burn and affecting both the texture and flavor. Instead, pour in enough cold water to completely cover the shrimp before closing the lid. As the water freezes, it forms a protective layer of ice around the shrimp, helping lock in moisture and keeping the shrimp tender and flavorful for much longer. Once the containers are sealed, simply place them in the freezer. When you're ready to cook, thaw the container in the refrigerator or under cold running water, and you'll notice how fresh and juicy the shrimp still tastes. Have you ever thought about freezing tomato sauce? It may sound unusual at first, but once you try it, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. Make your tomato sauce just the way your family likes it. Whether it's a simple homemade sauce or your favorite recipe with herbs and spices, let it cool completely before freezing. Next, pour the sauce into ice cube trays. Choose a tray with larger or smaller compartments, depending on how much sauce you usually need for cooking. Place the tray in the freezer until the sauce is completely frozen. It's a simple way to save time. Avoid wasting leftover sauce and always have homemade tomato sauce ready whenever a recipe calls for it. Leftover rice is another food that's perfect for freezing. Instead of throwing it away or letting it sit in the refrigerator until it dries out, save it for another meal. Start by laying a sheet of plastic wrap on a cutting board or clean countertop. Spoon a single serving of cooked rice onto the center, then wrap it tightly, pressing gently to remove as much air as possible. Wrapping the rice into individual portions makes it much easier to thaw only what you need later. Once you've wrapped all the portions, place them into a food storage container or a large zip-top freezer bag. This helps protect the rice from being crushed and keeps the packages neatly organized in the freezer. Store the container in your freezer until you're ready to use it. When you need a quick meal, simply take out one portion and reheat it in the microwave. In just a few minutes, you'll have soft, fluffy rice that's ready to serve with your favorite dish. If your family loves French fries, then potatoes are another ingredient you should always keep in the freezer. Start by peeling the potatoes and cutting them into evenly sized sticks or cubes. Now, here's a mistake many people make. They toss all the potato pieces into one container and put it straight into the freezer. A few hours later, everything has frozen into one solid block. The next time you want fries, you have to thaw the whole container just to separate a handful of potatoes. Instead, try this simple trick. Line the bottom of a food storage container with a sheet of paper towel. Arrange a single layer of potato pieces on top, leaving a little space between them so they aren't touching. Then place another sheet of paper towel over the potatoes before adding the next layer. Continue layering paper towels and potatoes until the container is full. The paper towels help absorb excess moisture while the layers keep the potato pieces from sticking together as they freeze. It's quick, convenient, and makes homemade fries much easier to prepare whenever you're craving them. And potatoes are just one example. Many other foods can be frozen successfully. You just need to use the right method for each one. What foods do you always keep in your freezer? Let me know in the comments. You might even give someone else a great idea. Now that our freezer is stocked with all these ingredients, let's see what delicious meals we can make from everything we've just frozen. Let's start with the ground meat we portioned earlier. Simply break off the amount you need and leave the rest safely in the freezer. There's no need to thaw the entire bag every time you cook. Add the meat to a hot pan and cook until it's nicely browned, breaking it into small pieces as it cooks. Once the meat is fully cooked, drop in 1 frozen cube of tomato sauce. As it melts, stir everything together and let it simmer until the sauce reaches the consistency you like. Now, add your cooked spaghetti and toss everything together until every strand is covered with the sauce. Just like that, in about 3 minutes, you've turned a few frozen ingredients into a fresh homemade plate of spaghetti that's perfect for lunch or dinner. Next, let's use the frozen shrimp. Once thawed, you'll notice the shrimp is still plump, juicy, and full of moisture thanks to the protective layer of ice. Peel the shrimp, then sauté them in a little oil until they just begin to turn pink. Add some of the frozen vegetables you prepared earlier, such as carrots, corn, or okra, and cook everything together until the vegetables are tender. Finally, take one portion of the frozen rice and warm it in the microwave. Add it straight to the pan and stir everything together. In just a few minutes, you'll have a colorful shrimp fried rice filled with vegetables, a quick, balanced meal made almost entirely from ingredients you prepared ahead of time. That's the real advantage of freezing food the right way. I hope these freezer tips help you save time, reduce food waste, and always have something delicious ready to cook. If you enjoyed today's ideas, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who loves practical kitchen tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.